All right, this is Bren with BP Kitchen Equipment. We have here a 2021 Bizerba GSP HD slicer. This is an automatic slicer. There's very little difference between this and a manual mode. A manual slicer, the only difference here is that it has an automatic function. This automatic function has 3 different settings for 2 different items. 3 different settings for the stroke length. So this is long, this is going to be short, and then this is medium, and now we're back to long again. There we go. It also has 3 different speed settings. I'm just going to show you the fastest one because it's using a little wild. So between these, there's a total of 9 different settings you can run your slicer at. Another added benefit of these automatic slicers is that even though it's technically in manual mode right now, it is really an assisted manual mode. So all you have to do is give it a light push in manual mode and it'll run. It will not run until you give it that real light push, and it will cycle through. All right, so you probably, if you're watching this video, you probably already know what a Bizerba slicer is and how they operate. So the real question here is, why buy from us at BP? The main thing is that we actually service our items before we sell it to you. So most other resellers just kind of test it for a baseline functionality. You make sure that the blade turns on and then it runs in at least one of the automatic modes. But we at BP, we actually completely service all of our equipment before we send it over to you. So what does that mean? That means that we test all electrical, mechanical, and all electrical and mechanical components. So I make sure that everything here in the motherboard works. I make sure that everything here in the slicer works. Make sure that this rotates. Most meat grips do not, which is especially nice for these automatics. We lubricate all mechanisms. Everything is lubricated with either OEM Bizerba H1 oil or food safe H1 grease. Depends on what it is. Some things are oiled, some things are greased, but everything is lubricated ready for when we sale. All of our slicers go through a 68-point refurbishment checklist, and all of our slicers take me anywhere from 3 to 7 hours. I want to reiterate again, we do not just test and wipe down any of our equipment, but I make sure that this will be a long-lasting solution for you and your company. In short, I'm just going to show you one of the things I do, which is safety calibration. So most of the work that I actually do revolves around this gauge plate. First and foremost, I make sure that the blade, so it's on right now and it's at 0. I make sure that this blade actually sits below this gauge plate when it's at 0. Most of the times we get them, they do not. What this means is that if you or your employee are cleaning the slicer, or you just pull this back for whatever reason, you can't put your hand here and accidentally get cut. Another one of the things that we do, we make sure that the blade is going to be a long-lasting solution for you. So they come stock with 1 millimeter gap between this and the blade guard ring, and then Bizerba recommends you replace these at 6 millimeters. We guarantee that our blades have at least 66% of their lifespan left. In this case, because this is a relatively new slicer, this has barely been used and this has most of its lifespan left. Something else that we do is we make sure that this distance is the same all the way through. So I think this is at like 1.23 millimeters or something like that. The reason you want that is so that whenever this blade does in fact go bad and needs to be replaced, this gauge plate isn't going to come into contact. Out of that 3 to 7 hours, at least half of that is actually spent manipulating this gauge plate to make sure that it's the right distance this way, that it's rotated the right way, that whenever the carriage is down, it does not come into contact, but it actually remains the same distance all the way through. Yeah, there's a lot of things we do. Back to the safety mechanisms though, we also make sure that whenever the gauge plate, so right now it's closed, this is open, so that means the blade is exposed. This will not open. We do that just to ensure that, yeah, these Bizerbas are, as they come from the factory, OEM safe. Let me see here. Oh, we also sharpen the blades before sale. So let me put that back here. So I make sure that these blades are sharp enough to cut a piece of paper. So let's put this at 5 millimeters. It's a little bit of a rough cut. And there we go. So we make sure that this blade will come to you as sharp as possible. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. My name is Brian Marvick, and my number is on our website. You can check that out there, maybe read a little bit more about our refurbishment, and yeah, give me a call if you're interested about anything. I hope you have a good day.